Okay, we'll see if we can make this work. Cheers, guys. Just thought I'd do a little quick stream from the lab. Maybe trying to get a quad put back together sort of thing. And maybe we'll even do a little bit of a giveaway of some stickers later on if anybody shows up. Don't know whether anybody's going to be here. Oh yeah, Alexa, trigger live show.
Sending that to it.
Alright, well maybe that'll actually get some people in here, you never know. Alright, cool. Well, last time we were live in the lab, I was working on this awesome quad, and I've since finished it. This is ready for fly time. This is my Blue Falcon quad in honor of JC from Blue Falcon channel. Got it set up for a GoPro Hero session, which should arrive tomorrow or the next day, I think, or not tomorrow, yeah, Monday or Tuesday. And this will be the first quad I've flown with a session. I usually fly these Run Cam 2s, but because I don't want to sacrifice my session. I know what'll happen to it, but I got some protective glass for it. This thing turned out awesome. So far it's tested out well without any major problems. Hold on. Just gotta fix a couple things. Yeah, Restream is not working. Why is Restream being such a pain? I don't know why that is. Cheers, Tech Mason. Yeah, I don't know why your chat is not relayed. Alright, I'll just have to stick with YouTube chat. I did try and get the chat working to relay right to Discord and from Twitch to YouTube to Discord and all back and forth, but as usual, I don't think it's working. But whatever, what do you do? Cheers, Daniel. Glad you could stop by. Right on. Okay, well, let's build something. What I've got, I built this live a long time ago on the channel. This is a 225 GearBest frame GEP225 GEP-RC, and it's been obsoleted on the shelf for a long time because it's still got an old FLYSKY receiver in there, and I've since switched everything over to FRSKY. It's not got the best of camera. It doesn't have an on-screen display, but there's no point in having this thing sitting on the shelf. It's doing no good there. So I figured, well, let's gut the thing. Let's get a new receiver put in there, or see if we can figure out how to put a new receiver in there, see if I can remember how these things worked, and maybe retrofit it over to FRSKY. And then, yeah, if anybody shows up, we'll do some sticker giveaways and whatever. Cheers to Boston, Mass. How are things in Boston, Mass? So I've 3D printed this. You guys will see it on the video this Friday, I believe. I printed a prop wrench finally, so I could actually work with these stupid red bottom motors that used to chew my fingers up every time I had to take props off. Always take your props off, by the way. If you're building quadcopters, don't even tempt yourself leaving them on. And that works awesome. It's just printed out a PLA, snaps right on there. Yeah, no problems. Quads look great. Cheers, Brian. Yeah, this is a really old build. This thing is like, it's a shame to have this thing just sitting on the shelf as a wall hanger when it's a perfectly capable quadcopter. And I was never going to fly it again unless we do what we're going to do tonight and retrofit it out. I did go to the bin. What I did first before I went live is just to see if we could do it. I went to the bin and I found myself an XSR FRSKY receiver. This is a full telemetry receiver, so it not only receives to the quadcopter, it also transmits back down to my transmitter. And there we go. Handy little thing. These things are about 20 bucks to buy. Turns out I had 2 spares, so I've still got one more. Actually, I think I've got another one because I've got that Nano Talon drone plane to build at some point. But then I also went to the bin and found my original package of GEP225 quad stuff. It's got the instructions for the flight control. I wanted to see what kind of flight controller this thing had in it. And sure enough, it's got a SPF3, which is pretty outdated tech now, but it's plenty capable enough for my flying. Like, I am no expert anyway. That one's left-hand thread, Eric. Black nuts are left-hand thread. So we should be able to figure things out. We could actually upgrade the flight control to an F4 as well, but truthfully I'm not that ambitious. This quad is rocking the old motors, the old little BESCs. Really kind of cruddy camera that I didn't even upgrade to a wide view, and kind of a not great video transmitter. Good antenna though, so I think it'll be a basher. I think this will be a good warm-up quad, like when I first go out, when you want to kind of get your legs under you, it'd be a good one to just fly. And we don't need a lot of on-screen display because we're not going long distance or anything. We shouldn't need much. Like to watch your builds. Cheers. All right, I'm glad you do. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, any of you guys that are chatting in chat, when we'll do a little giveaway later. That any chat message gets, we'll just use Nightbot to give away some stickers. And anytime you chat, that'll enter you for 5 minutes, I believe, is what we'll set it to. Okay, there we go. Oh, the other thing I did last night. This thing has no HD camera on it. And the run cam doesn't fit so bueno with these old antennas and system, which we're going to be getting rid of. So I thought, well, let's 3D print a mount. So I 3D printed a run cam 2 mount out of translucent PLA. Or not PLA, TPU, so it's flexible, and it fits. This actually had a 30-degree incline on the bottom, so I just lowered it right down to the bed to cut it off, and it fits freaking perfect. It's awesome. That's going to be great. So this will be easy to transfer between my other quads, and obviously not this one that runs the GoPro. That GoPro will stay on the Blue Falcon quad, but we should be able to mount this right on the top with just the run cam strap. That's what that slot is for once we get these antennas out of the way. And I think we'll route the XSR antennas under the bottom. I think that'll work pretty good. We'll see if we can breathe some new life into this old girl. It beats the hell out of having it on the shelf doing nothing. It's a shame to just have it rot there. Cheers. Get started late. Yeah, it's a little late for everyone, but I can only go live when I can go live. Oops. Let's see, that one? Yeah. What the heck happened to my window? Not right. Come on now. My window's got all messed up. There. I have to be able to monitor. This PC I'm streaming from has never been the best of PCs, but as long as I keep an eye on it, make sure we're not dropping any frames, it usually works pretty good. It's a little, when I move things around real fast, it has a hard time encoding it, but okay. So that's just that carbon ear that held that antenna. We're not going to need it because we're just going to heat shrink our antennas and run them out the bottom somehow, I think, so we can just do away with these. The tricky part's going to be remembering how this old SPF3 is even wired. It's been so long. The good thing is I live streamed this. I don't remember the exact date. Right before the show, I went back into my live stream archives and found it. It looks like, I think it was March 2017 when I built this thing. And I have a pretty good idea how I did it by the live stream replay. It shouldn't be a problem. It is kind of a funky wiring I did on the thing, though. Alright, we'll clip that, hold down, preferably without clipping the antenna, because it's a perfectly fine FLYSKY receiver. I have lots and lots of them. I may do some giveaways or something for those, because I don't think I'm ever going to go back to FLYSKY ever again now that I'm on FRSKY. I don't see any reason why not. This receiver you're going to see in a minute, this thing is massive, and this was the smallest telemetry receiver they had at the time. Look at that wiring I did on there. Look at all that extra ESC wire. Ugh. Not my proudest moment, that build, but did the job. Cool. And now, I think, once we get through that, how the heck do I? These bolts hold this top plate down. We need this whole top plate to come off. Well, actually we don't. Do we? Do we? Do we not? What's the easiest way to do this? I think the easiest way is the whole top plate off. Can we do that? Can we get at those screws? Kinda. Can I get at the screws so you can see them? Oh! Gee, that's tight. I have no idea why that's so tight. Oh yeah, we probably can't get at these ones anyway, can we? Yeah, we can. There's that one. What's everybody else building in tonight? Giveaway would be cool. Yeah, we'll do some stickers in a bit. We'll see who's hanging around, and we'll do some stickers. I did stickers on 1 or 2 live streams ago, and it was kind of fun. Well received. Who doesn't like stickers? I can send. The cool thing about doing stickers is I can send them anywhere in the world. Anything else I can't send too far. Or was the giveaway you were talking about for the FRSKY or the FLYSKY stuff? That'll be cool too. Problem is shipping. Exactly the same topic. It's tough to ship that stuff. Not so bad for like a receiver or whatever, but it's awfully hard. Like I can't ship my spare transmitters or anything. All right. What's the easiest? Why were those so tough? There's some hot snot glue. I had to run hot snot glue all around here to protect to hold the receiver antennas to keep them from ending up in props. That was the best I could come up with at the time. You'll see why in a minute. It's an unruly receiver in there. Jeez, that's on an angle. I don't want to strip that. Oh, there we go. I felt like there was Loctite on it. That's weird. There definitely isn't Loctite though. Am I still under the camera? Yep. Kinda sorta. So next Friday there's a mix video coming out. I did both some quad build on the Blue Falcon. Oh, there she goes. And a mailbag. God, that was tight. I must have been eating my Wheaties that day. That's ridiculous. Why was that so tight? So yeah, Friday's video is a little bit of a mix. Should be a little bit fun for you guys. I don't know. Trying to bring a little bit more production quality to the mailbag videos as much as I can. And I'm also going to be doing more reviews and a little bit more what you would call mainstream content on the channel, stuff that I don't know why I just never made time for before. Like I have all these silly products that I buy and I don't often share them on the channel. So like I just bought a widescreen monitor for doing video editing, and of course you guys know me. The thing is like the most budget priced version available. And I'm like, why don't I do a video on that? Because I'm sure other people will be interested. Does a 150 Canadian peso widescreen monitor actually work? And I can attest it actually does. It works fantastic. So do some more videos on stuff like that. Soldering along from New York. Cheers to New York. I was just watching Lewis Rossman earlier, playing around with some super caps I bought ages ago. Nice. How old is this quad? This one's ancient. This one was built in early 2017, so we're going to see if we can recover it and put it back into service by upgrading the receiver. I do quite often rock the old equipment. Like you can tell the age by the little bees and the red bottom motors. But I also just built this last week, I started building it last spring, but I finished it last week, and it's running the same setup. Way outdated, except it's running a DYS F4 Pro V2 flight control. But the old stuff works fine. Like, it's not the best, but it works. So we're gonna try and just breathe a little life into it. If I can figure out how the hell... Like, what? Oh, I remember this quad now. This was the most kind of frickin' stupid system ever. And I put a whole bunch of hot snot in there too, which doesn't help life. It's got that screw. Let's just try taking this side plate off. See if we can get it all the way off. It's a really poor design. I never thought much of this. I remember from the day I built it. For serviceability wise, I guess it'll be a lot easier now with the newer equipment that's quite a bit smaller. Half your luck, the 4K TV you found was trashed. PCB survived though. Well, that's at least something. Okay, now 2 Phillips screws in that board cam. Should probably just I'd update that camera too, but honestly this thing is just, at best it's just going to be a basher quad, so there's no point in updating it. I will probably update that FPV camera lens, because I hate, like, there's no point in not having a wide angle lens. I can't even fly without it anymore. Okay, there we go. We are in. Can we get that hot snot? I've got hot snot under the receiver. The receiver this was a cased FLYSKY receiver. They come in a big black plastic case, and I decased it and just wrapped it because I didn't even have good heat shrink back then. And this is the result. It's not pretty, but it's definitely functional. At least I put a beeper on this quad. We might have to take a little bit of rubbing alcohol. We'll just release that hot snot, no problem. Okay, there. Holy smokes. Yeah, heat shrink would have been a lot nicer, but that is not what I had at the time. What I have now is this stuff. And I just actually ordered this right from DigiKey, and this fits perfect for any, like, it's big for a receiver, but it works just fine, and because it shrinks down to less than half its size, and works good for ESCs too. But this build was previous to me having such things. All right, that's what we want. We want these. See, I didn't even de-pin it. I just plugged in, which is good because I'm going to remember this. So that's power, ground, and signal for our S bus. And this is power and ground. I remember using the receiver to power the flight controller. So we're going to have to switch this over and put this on the flight controller to power it up. Otherwise, we're not going to have any power to it because this thing actually runs a power distribution board. Old school. But it will be, I think at the end of it, I think the less I do to this, the better, because the more, like, it would be nice to have a basher quad, like Red October build. I really like that build. And Blue Falcon, like, I got a nice custom dip frame paint job on there. You can see that on my videos on the channel. And you never want to hurt them. You always end up kind of babying them a little bit. So I think this will be good to have a basher. I think, but we'll see. Cheers. All right. Cheers, guys. Well, a nice chilly pint for tonight. Not a good beer, but it's beer nonetheless. Alright, so this power and ground, this is what we're going to need to take back through and solder it to the flight control. And then this other one, in theory, if I remember right, I think we use UART 3. Is it UART 3 on the SPF 3? Does anybody out there remember? Jeez, it's been forever. But this power and ground We just got to figure out where we want to put it into the SPF 3. And I think we can put it in pretty much wherever because it's a 5 volt. I think we can put it in right over here. Might have to get the microscope out so you guys can see a little better. Let's grab the instructions. So we're going to scrap that receiver. Nothing wrong with it. It's perfectly good telemetry FLYSKY receiver, but probably we'll never see the air ever again. Let's see if we can find some SPF3 info without doxing myself. What the hell is it? I think that's SPF3 stuff. Hopefully there's a piece of paper that has pinouts on it. Oh, I got the layout of the frame. What a goofy frame setup. I would never... This was a review unit sent to me. I don't think I'd ever buy another one. Nope. We've got receiver bits, flight controller bits, camera, video transmitter, no SPF3. Pretty sure we should be able to just take it and put it in. There's another UART over here, a TX and an RX, and plus and minus, and or positive and negative. Jeez, what's wrong with me tonight? And I was just feeding it in on this side, so we can just say I can just feed this in on this side. They're all hooked to the same bus, so we can backfeed on the same spot. And that'll power up the flight control board just fine. Yeah, that'll be fine. And then we will hook our radio up. Yeah, let's just do it. Let's just wing it. We will fire up a soldering iron because we are going to need that. That's going to be mission critical. And solder some stuff. Clean. You can tell I was doing a lot of soldering this week. I still save these little wire ends and throw them in a drawer up top. This is really handy for little jumper wires later. These are a nice silicone wire from the speed controls on the Blue Falcon project. And if I can get in here without, nope, I can't, without dorking up my camera. You guys are a quiet bunch out there tonight. We don't need that yet. We need this. So normally I'd do through, hole, and solder it right in, but in this case, I think we'll just tack it to the top. Can I get the should I get the microscope out and see if I can focus on that? Give you guys a little better view whilst we work on that. I can't focus the C920 worth beans, but this should work a little better. Maybe. The problem, that's not the right microscope, Eric. We want this one. Is that the furthest we can get? Can we focus? Yes, we can. Barely, but we can. Okay, got some wires coming across the middle, and this is going to be on the side of we need to solder right into there. We're going to solder onto our positive and negative there, right by that UART. What the heck was that noise? Weird, I'm hearing things. We're going to need secateurs. My pegboard, the back of the bench is getting a little crazy. And, well, we don't need much wire, but let's leave ourselves lots. Alright, with any luck, I do remember I definitely used brown as ground, red as positive, on camera, Eric. Come on now. Those side cutters are too sharp. I need my 30-year-old ones. They're perfect for stripping wire. They don't have quite the bite. Actually, they're not so perfect tonight. This wire, not so bueno. What the? Oh, that did strip. I'm not working through the microscope. I'm not seeing what you guys can see. Okay, we'll tin those wires. Let's set a random something. Random PCB over the board. I know that's out of focus. I apologize, but I can't get it in focus because we can't back the microscope up anymore unless we go back to the C920. I'll try and be quick. Once we get down to the board level, it should be better. Wait. Tin. I'm just using Next-Tech solder. Should do the trick. Perfect. Now, back to where you guys can see it. Positive and the negative, we're just going to tack right. We're going to move the microscope closer because I can't reach with my iron. Or with any luck, going to just... my iron doesn't reach still. Troubles of streaming cantankerous builds. I'll show you guys. This is what I'm wrestling with here. I'm trying to deal with the solder iron over here and solder under this microscope maxed out as far as I can. Oh well, what are you gonna do, right? First world problems. Alright, let's go. Let's get under there. Perfect, that'll do. Again, this should be through hole. Like, I should be putting those through, but I do not want to lift that flight controller up tonight if I don't have to. I'm gonna need some pointy, grabby things. And right where I need to work, I guess you guys can't see that. Oop. Finger in the way. Come on now. How about like so? Can you see it now? Nope. Nope. I think I'm just gonna have to tack these on and show you after. Let's just do it. Sorry. This would be a lot easier if it wasn't already a built quadcopter. Alright. Positives on. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Nope. We need the pointy. I'd have to solder this left-handed. We'll just bring that across, and it's not going to be pretty, but it's going to be functional. Done. Okay. Let's see. Need to get my face right down in here and take a loo. Make sure that we don't have positives laying flat. We're good. No shorty. All good. So that should feed the flight control. That should feed it. And then when we set that back on, now we should be able to just use this on the same UART for our S-bus. Sometimes you can heat the solder blob and push the wire through the board. Yeah, you could. I probably could have there with a lot more. Well, I definitely could if I wasn't trying to do it under the camera. But honestly, it's not a big deal. There's no strain on that. Like you can see all the other wires. Well, you can't now. Everything else that I've done on this board, I've done through. And that's the purist in me. I've always gone through. And honestly, in cases like this, I wish I wouldn't have. I'm learning to not do it that way, to do it this ugly way and just tack it onto a blob on the top, because it makes servicing it in the field so much easier. This in the field to remove is quite difficult. If it's just tacked onto the top, because these ESC wires are right here, they can go onto the top. It makes no matter, and it's not right, and it looks wrong, but it's so much easier. You just touch it with your cheap pen iron, USB powered pen iron, and just pull it off and swap an ESC in the field. So most new boards don't even have holes through half of anything anymore, because truthfully nobody uses them. So yeah, it is what it is. But okay, we don't need the microscope. That was just, I wish the C920, I might do someday a camera mod, lens mod to the C920. There's multiple tutorials out there about adding you can put a macro lens on it and stuff, like a full DSLR type lens. Okay, let's try and get you a little closer. Okay. Oh crap. I forgot. The XSR doesn't have pads to get at. It's got a pigtail. Ah, crumbs. So we can either butt these wires up against each other and join them, or we can just solder to the flight control, where these ones going through already are, but I don't want to pull the flight control back up. They're through the board. Crumbs. There's a I can cut them off and just tin it. Oh, that's ugly. But yeah, let's do it. Let's bring the microscope back, and you guys can witness the shitty thing I'm about to do. Cheers to India. Alright, so these wires right up here, these are the ones that I did properly, and prime example now, if I would have just tacked them onto solder blobs onto the top, this would be no problem right now. But now what I'm going to have to do is either pull the flight control off and desolder them from the backside and pull them through, which I do not want to do, or we're going to do this ugly thing right now, and we're just going to snip them. And then we're going to do solder blobs and tack them on the top. Now with any luck, there is a PDB under there, so we got to be careful when we tack these that we don't heat too much, that wire falls down through. I can check it on the back side, no problem, but let's go ahead. We're going to need RX, power and ground, because the RX is the receive going into the flight control. So far right. Well, it's green, yep, kind of, sort of. And that, and there's even a blade of grass in here. Let's give that a bit more. Okay, how do we do? Good enough? Good enough. Alright, for the XSR, let's go back and see what we need. I'm fine with butchering things. Yeah, if you're watching this channel, you've probably seen me butcher more than one or two things, so you guys know me. I try and do it right when I can, but I also like showing you guys the real fact. Like, who wants to take that flight control back off? Who wants to do that right now? I sure don't. Not that it's a big deal, but then we get into breaking other stuff, and you know how it is. Okay. Instructions. Ground, power. Black, red. No problemo. S port, we're not going to need. CPPM, we're not going to need. And then white is S bus down at the bottom. So we're going to need to depin this. Double check. I've screwed this up more than I can count. Ground, power. S port, don't need. CPPM, don't need. S bus, do need, because we're going to use S bus to talk instead of the previous I bus. So let's get the microscope. Been using this quad as a lawnmower too. Apparently I was. Okie dokie. Look at how wicked we can zoom in on that. Focus. So we're going to go ahead. We don't need that much zoom. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take the green and the yellow wires out if we can, with any luck. Okay. I know this is going to go off screen from time to time, and I apologize. Oh, what the heck? No bueno. The end of... The thing I found easiest to use is the end of an X-Acto knife, and you can tell that knife has been well used for this job because it is missing the tip. Just missing the tip. And yes, I do use my quads as lawnmowers. I do crash. I am not a good pilot by any stretch. I'm hoping to make more time to learn. I have honestly struggled with my transition to quads. Same as I struggled when I bought, like I had a TRX 600 heli, and I struggled because all I had ever flown was fixed wing all my life. And going to a quadcopter where all the aerodynamic rules go out the window, these quads are literally bricks in the air, and they don't. You have to fly the tail, and you have to fly every point. Oh yes, this is much easier if I look through the microscope. There's no self-righting function unless you're in stabilization mode, which I don't fly. Oh, come on, get a hold of the wire first, Eric. Get a hold of the wire first. Okay, let's see. Let's try and keep this in the center so you guys can see it. And pop goes the wire, and we are out just like that. And let's take the green one out too. Again, grab the wire first, Eric. And pop. Out she come, just like so. No problemo. What do you guys think of having the microscope on screen for stuff like this? Is it a little nicer for watching at home? I don't know how many people actually watch the stream versus just have it as background noise kind of thing, but yeah, I do address the audience constantly. Okie dokie. Let's. I don't think There we go. Perfect. I think. That'll do. Alright, we on screen? Yep. Perfect. Perfect. You don't have to, don't pay attention to me. I'm just trying to get, I think that's leftover wire. No, that's just old flux. That's just old flux. I thought it was old wire insulation. Okay, positive, negative to the outside, receive to the far side. Receive is going to be our white. How short do we need these? How short do we need these? So we're going to need the XSR somewhere right about there, so we don't need these wires very long. Doesn't matter. It's not like the video wire. So your receiver, the I-bus and S-bus are actually pretty darn resilient to noise, so we can leave them a little bit extra long. That way we don't have the problem we had when we took this thing apart. Yeah, there we go. Strip those back. We'll tin them. And that'll be that. I'll tack those on there. And we'll be away. Beauty. Try and do as much under the microscope and places where you guys can see it, because that's the nice thing to do when you guys are nice enough to come join me tonight. Oh, that's trippy to look at. The video quality is not like, that is not the best camera on there, but it does do the job. But the view through the microscope is just incredible. Like, I would never look through a microscope to tin wires like this, and when I just took a quick, come on now, when I just took a quick peek, it's like seeing everything in HD that you're used to, like 320. Alright, we're still on screen, barely. This is such a pain. All that just, okay, fuck it. I'm just gonna tin these wires. It's gonna be off camera and I apologize, but enough's enough. I'm gonna spend half an hour just to tin 3 wires. Or maybe I will. There we go. Good enough. Bueno. Oh. There. Where's the terminals? Right there. Yuki dookie. Tin our soldering iron, and then this is the wrong way again. We're gonna have to go this way, otherwise my iron cord doesn't quite reach unless I move the microscope again. Okay, let's do our S-bus first. I'll just sort of, I gotta trim it. Alright, that's way too much wire sticking out if we're gonna do a kind of vertical style of joint. And then we'll do positive. That goes so. And then we'll tack the negative on there. Not like so. Like so. And that was pretty much off camera. But you get the idea. We's on. Now, you can take some, because those are, yeah, let's warm up the hot glue gun. Because those are the way they are, soldered on top, and I actually soldered them kind of vertically, what we'll do is we'll just hit it with some hot snot to act as a strain relief, because these things are going to vibrate, and this is kind of a really important connection on the quad. They all are pretty darn important, but losing your entire receiver communication to the flight control is instant fail-safe and drop from there. Whereas like video or whatever, you could just slam it back into stabilization mode. Don't know what the problem with the mic is. Is the audio a problem, guys? Somebody let me know. Like, somebody I trust who's not full of shit. And go ahead back to the vertical, back to the overhead in the meantime. And we will plug you in. The audio should be alright. This isn't the best headset. I'm thinking I should go back to my old one, but so be it. Okay, now, come on now. Get down there, webcam. Get in there. Get in there. Okay. We'll hot snap those connections. This will be good. This will flip back down. And then our XSR will live somewhere around here. And then we'll figure out the antenna situation after where we're going to put them, because we have no choice. The audio is a bit hot. All right. Here we go. 1 second. Sorry, this is going to click. This is the easiest way to fix it. How's that? Any better? I have compression and I have everything I can do. It's just this Planetronics headset is a piece of junk. The wired one worked a lot better, but the wired one, the problem with that was you get clicking and noise as it kind of rubbed on and off my shoulders and such. Okay, let's get this other big gob of hot snot out of here. Like I mentioned earlier, you can soften this up with just a little bit of rubbing alcohol and it'll pop right off, but we can also brute force it if we're in the mood to do such things. And the rest is fine. Okay, that'll be good. Yeah, there was a fair bit of hot snot on that thing. Not half the quad's weight. But if you saw the receiver that I just pulled out of there, it is what it is. That was the choices I had 2 years ago. She's an old girl, but she's going to be fun again. This will be a good machine. Alright, so let's just take, this should be good enough to get. We don't need much. We only need just a little bit. Where's our connections? There's our connections. And we're just going to take and just give it a little goop here. Not much, just enough to act as a strain relief. And that we will have to, if we ever, actually I'm never going to desolder that. It's that simple. If this thing gets smashed up to that point, I'm never going to fix it. So that'll act as a nice little strain relief on those wires, and they won't crack and break off, and all will be well. Easy peasy. Like I said, we're just going to use this as a basher quad, so she is not going to live a very gentle life, put it that way. She's gonna be the one that doesn't get treated the best. Alright, you guys want to do a quick little giveaway? Everybody who wants a sticker, go ahead and post something and post it in chat that you want a sticker. We're going to let Nightbot run, and I will give away some stickers. We'll give you guys a few minutes to go ahead and post in chat. I see there's a few of you here, so anybody who wants stickers, go ahead and put a comment in chat, and we will do so. Oh yeah, this will be good. This will be good. I like this. Okay, let's get rid of the microscope. We're done with that. Sweet. Good enough. I don't think I flew this thing more than like twice, honestly. I couldn't have flown this thing very often. Okie dokie. That is going to just work. Beauty. So let's twist our receiver wires to reject noise. The data link for iBus and SBus is pretty robust, but we'll go ahead and give her some twists anyway. There's actually a spec for how many twists you put in per centimeter, or American friends, inches. But I don't know what that spec is, but we just want a few rounds. And the idea behind twisting wires, twisted pair, normally you just want your signal and ground, but in this case we're going to bring power in, it's no problem, is any interference in the wire gets rejected by getting introduced evenly throughout your signal and your ground, and therefore cancels itself out. Tasty tidbit for those who didn't know. That's why there's a spec on exactly how many. And that's good enough. Again, iBus and SBus are crazy resilient to noise anyway. Okay, got everybody? Stickers. Should we do some stickers? Alright, let's do some stickers. Nightbot, pick us a sticker winner. Come on, Nightbot, you can do it. Rolling. Rob Roberts has won the giveaway. Rob Roberts, go ahead and hit me up in Discord down below, or my email address is on the main page of my YouTube channel. Email me and give me your address, and I will send those out. Let's pick another one. Let's do a second. You guys are here. Let's do it. McBong's Lab. Cheers, buddy. Same thing. Hit me up in Discord, private message me your address, or email it to me either way, and we will get you some stickers. Cheers, guys. Fun. That's it. Cool. Oh, what time have we got? How much time have I got? I just saw your comment. Yeah, I will send those stickers anywhere in the world, no problem. I bought stamps to send them worldwide. US, I have to buy US stamps, but the rest of the world, Canadians can apparently buy a worldwide stamp, and I think it was like $2.50 a piece. So I bought 6 or 8 of them for these giveaways so that I can engage back with you guys. Hopefully you like them. It's just something I can do, right? It's what little I can do. Like I mentioned, stickers are about the only thing I can afford to ship worldwide, and like that still gets expensive, right? When you start doing a couple giveaways here and there, your like our advertising revenue. I'll tell you guys, the advertising revenue on YouTube isn't that great, so thankfully I have some Patreon supporters, link down below, who help me out. And you guys, if you're interested, go hit up Patreon. You get custom status in Discord as well, and some other perks. But thankfully they support me, so between what little AdSense we get and some support from some vendors lately, then now I can start doing some more stickers and stuff. Yeah, hopefully you guys like it. All right, I think we're going to end it there, actually. I'm going to put this thing together tomorrow, I think. We could probably stream again tomorrow, but finish this off. But it's all over but the crying now. We just have to plug in our receiver again. Make sure we plug it in the right way. And power it up, bind it, and that's going to be just beautiful. Again, if we go the right way. That way, Eric, that way. Perfect. We'll set that in there with some double-sided tape. We'll zip tie some antennas out, and it'll be ready to rock. Again, just a beater quad, but it's a fun night, guys. Cheers. Hopefully, hit me up on Discord. I'll be in Discord for a little bit, and I'll catch you guys later. Cheers.